olumbira mani babo genda ngalo kulonderera olumbira mani wange simanyira nga ndifira.
4 minutes, approaching 5 minutes after the hour. Welcome now to the second hour of this Tuesday, January 5th, 2010 edition of the program Talkback here on listener-sponsored commercial-free radio, WBAI in New York. Olara Otunnu of Uganda is a former United Nations Undersecretary General and Special Representative for Children and Armed Conflict. He is also a former ambassador and permanent representative to the United Nations from Uganda and former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Uganda. He is a graduate of Oxford University and Harvard Law. He is also a former assistant professor of law at Albany Law School. And rumor has it that he may even be a candidate for president of Uganda when elections are held next year. We're very honored to welcome to the program Mr. Olara Otunnu. Good afternoon, Mr. Otunnu.
Good afternoon. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
You are very welcome. Will you be running against Mr. Museveni next year?
I have gone back to Uganda, my land of birth, the country that brought me up. I am now engaged in a popular movement within the country to effect change and transformation in the country that would involve the removal democratically through elections of Mr. Museveni, a regime which has been there for some 25 years and which has ruined Uganda.
How so?
For the first time in the history of Uganda, we've witnessed actual genocide in the northern part of the country, organized by Mr. Museveni. For between 15 to 20 years, imagine the following: 2 million people were forcibly uprooted from their homes by the army, herded into some 200 concentration camps, where they were dying at the rate of 1,500 a week. That would be about 3 times the death rates in Darfur, even at the worst of Darfur. And this went on not for 2, 3, 4 years, but between 15 to 20 years. And today there is barely anything left of the societies which were affected by this. You see, is a shadow of what these societies used to be. Today in Uganda we have something called safe houses. These are torture chambers that exist throughout the country run by Mr. Museveni. For 20 years there was no pretension of having any kind of multi-party system with a straightforward military, one-man, one-party rule. And 2006, when for the first time they organized what was billed as a multi-party elections, was pro forma, was massively rigged. All the international observers, even the Supreme Court of Uganda, clearly stated they were massively rigged. So we have a democracy only in name, but in reality this is a one-man, one-party rule. The economy of the country, the level of poverty, humiliating poverty that the people are facing today, they have never before in the history of Uganda. The cooked-up statistics notwithstanding, when you see the government statistics, you see growth rate of 8%, 6%. It's complete nonsense. It has no relationship with the real lives of people within Uganda, being all over the country. The government has simply migrated from the delivery of any social services, of hospitals, of schools. The last hospitals, real hospitals built in Uganda were in the 1960s. I've been all over the place. There are no new hospitals built in 24 years of Mr. Museveni being in power. And corruption today, corruption wanders around the globe, but it comes and sleeps in Uganda. There is no place where there's so much corruption orchestrated from the top, from the presidency and the presidential family, all the way down the chain. This is the ways and more in which Mr. Museveni in 24 years, contrary to the carefully orchestrated image which is projected